Crossroads. Each Crossroads story is based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi, the men who give inspiration and guidance to people at the crossroads of life. These dramatic stories are presented with the cooperation of our Board of Advisors, Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum. This is the story of Father Francis L. Sampson, chaplain, 501st Airborne, most decorated chaplain in the United States Army. The year was 1942. The place, Fort Benning, Georgia, the school for the airborne, the proudest branch of the United States Army.
Glory, glory, why to die? Glory, glory, what a way to die. Glory, glory, what a way to die. And he ain't gonna jump no more.
You, your name and rank?
Corlett, Ralph, Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Army.
Colonel, I overheard the language you used at the mock-up tower in addressing Corporal James while he was examining you for injuries after your jump.
Sergeant, if I may,
Just a moment, Colonel. As instructors, we outrank you in this paratrooper course.
Well, Sergeant, if you'll just...
Just let me finish, sir. We're not trying to be rough, but there are certain requirements that have to be met in the airborne, irrespective of rank. I think you owe Corporal James an apology.
Corporal James, I apologize for language unbecoming an officer of the United States Army.
Apology accepted, Colonel.
What I was trying to say, Sergeant, is Corporal James was due an apology even without your reprimand.
Very well, sir.
And thank you for the sir.
Okay, Colonel. Private Claffey, 25 push-ups for unwarranted belligerence towards Private Buckley during instructions from the jump master.
Right here, Sergeant?
Here, Claffey.
With which hand, Sergeant?
25 with the left and 50 with the right. Father Sampson, today in the landing trainer, you dropped your risers.
I'm sorry, Sergeant.
You will do 8 laps holding those risers aloft and shouting to everyone, I'm a bad chaplain, I dropped my risers.
Now, Sergeant?
Now, chaplain.
I'm a bad chaplain, I dropped my risers. I'm a bad chaplain, I dropped my risers. I'm a bad
chaplain. Dismissed. That's about it, chaplain.
But I've only started.
You know, I can't figure you. Are you counting on flying to heaven on paratrooper wings?
I'll get there any way I can, Mouse. But I hope the Lord isn't as hard to please as you are.
Is that supposed to be a joke? If you're here to save souls, we got one who sure can use some saving.
You mean yours, Sergeant?
Mort Claffey. Maybe you can help him, Father. Just between us, he's a rehab. He's mad at the world. Maybe you can get it through his head that the only thing we want him mad at's the enemy.
What have you got against him?
Carl Ward, the piano player? All right, I'll tell you. This morning, while the jump master was yakking, he was standing right next to me, humming. Over these prison walls, I would fly.
Mort, not one of these boys knows about your background.
You don't expect me to believe that, do you?
In my book, a lie's a sin, Mort. You've got to stop being so quick with your fists. You're trying to fight the whole world.
That's the only book I know, Chaplain. So you know where I went to school, huh, Chaplain? Well, it wasn't the Ivy League like you and Buckley.
But you had a team, didn't you? Didn't you all try to pull together?
Listen, team or no team, anybody does anything to me that I don't like, I'm gonna let him have it. What, do I gotta like all these guys? No, there was nothing that said so when I joined the Army.
Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, Morton.
Now, don't start bringing in the Bible, Chaplain. Look, these guys, they don't like me, I don't like them. There's nothing in your Bible that's gonna change that.
Come on. Let's listen to the music.
Now I can hear all right without moving a step.
Mort, whatever you've done in the past is paid for, or you wouldn't be here.
Now, you gotta try to wipe it out of your mind.
Yeah? When guys like your Okie piano player keep bringing it up?
There's only one person in this outfit who's concerned with your past, Mort. His name's Mort Claffey. Now, come on. Let's join the boys.
I told you, Chaplain, I can hear right where I am.
Okay. We'll have it your way for now. But eventually, I think we'll have it my way. Not mine, really. God's. Anatomy, Medic James.
Football, Chaplain Sampson. I expect to make the team when I get through with this outfit.
Father, could I mail those with mine?
Oh, thanks, John.
Plays a great piano, doesn't he? Somehow you just don't connect Bach with a guy from Oklahoma. You know, if Carl Ward gets through this argument, he's going to make the concert stage. Oklahoma, I still can't get over it.
You never know where you're going to find greatness, Johnny. Look what came out of Bethlehem.
Well, this is your last jump with Benning. If you live through it, you'll be off to Camp McCall. Okay, stand up. Look up. Keep your hand on the static line just below the snap. Check equipment.
Take a good look, will you, Oklahoma, or do you want me to ask the sergeant?
You, Claffey? Scared? I didn't think it possible.
Oh, knock it off. I've had enough of your wisecracks.
Calm down. We're all a little scared.
Speak for yourself.
What's going on back there? Sound off. Check equipment.
10 okay. 9 okay. 8 okay. 7 okay. 6 okay. 5 okay. 4 okay. 3 okay. 2 okay. 1 okay.
Well, this is where you're supposed to have faith, huh, Father?
I've got it. Have you, Sergeant?
Sure. In the equipment. Are you ready?
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
3,000 men. Getting better every day, but still lacking that indefinable something that makes an outfit function as a single fighting man. What is wrong?
This is my first war, Colonel.
A regiment is like a very delicate machine, Chaplain. When it's functioning properly, every cog is doing the job for which it was designed. But a flaw in one pinwheel, or one man, and blew it.
I'm afraid I'm not much of a mechanic, sir.
You do know men. I want you to take care of each and every one of my boys. You're going to have to if you stay on my team.
Yes, sir.
That's all. I thought this outfit was ready. I'd get down on my knees and thank God.
Then why not ask for God's help, sir?
Not a praying man, Chaplain.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Power of prayer may exist, but it's yet to be proven to me. Have any objections?
None whatsoever, sir.
I'd have known I wouldn't get to first base with that one. He knows the score as well as I do.
Going overseas was a rumor, 1,000 times repeated, but still just a rumor. The 501st hadn't reached perfection. The men still had to be molded into a well-coordinated ground combat team. On went the training, readying the men for what they'd meet on D-Day.
What's the matter, Oklahoma? Can't you take it?
You lie awake at night, Claffey, figuring out all them nice things to say?
That brings to mind a crack you made to me this morning. I can't think of a better place to clear the decks.
I think it was that big mouth of yours again.
maybe we won't have any more cracks about prison guards and walls aimed at me, okay?
Aimed at you? I was knocking the Army. Everybody knocks the Army.
Go on, you guys know all about my record. You're trying to rub it in.
Sorry, Mort. I had no idea. Now, how about it? Supposing you and I bury the hatchet.
Send it back to Oklahoma.
Who was it, Carl? Mort Claffey?
No, Father. No one you know.
Oh, yeah? Someone we know, all right.
No one we know, huh? You want him with us that bad, Carl?
No. But you do.
Come in.
You sent for me, Father?
Yes, Mort. Sit down, please. At Benning, you told me you didn't want me to ring in the Bible on you. We're at Camp McCall.
All right,
now.
skip it, Padre. So Carl told you I beat him up.
Matter of fact, he told me I didn't know the person who did that job. He was right, Mort. I don't know you. I'm afraid I never will.
I'm expecting to hear from the sergeant.
You won't. Carl's no squealer. Unlike you, he's a peaceable man, and a peaceable man turneth all things to good. He that's discontented and troubled is tossed with diverse suspicions. That's from the Bible. It wasn't too painful, was it?
Doesn't sound like Bible talk.
Well, it is. And it's the end of the lesson. Mort, you've got a couple of brain cells working, albeit in the wrong way. I just wanted to give them food for thought.
You mean I'm not going to get into any trouble?
Not unless you bring it on yourself.
Well, does that give you an idea how powerful this stuff is? It's known as primacord. Now, I'll tell you why the demonstration. This is going to be a lesson in booby trapping. Ward, Lamson, Buckley, Parker, into the farmhouse. Now, you rig a piece of primer cord under anything that moves. That goes for chairs, tables, loose floorboards, anything. And I'll show you how to rig the bottles. The Heinies specialize in delayed action fuses on bottles. While you're taking a swig, up you go. Or what's left of you. I'll give you 10 minutes. Okay, hop to it. Now watch it close. Don't overload. We don't want to kill him. We just want to wake him up. Okay, Claffey, your turn. Step lively.
Anybody want to bet that Claffey doesn't head straight for that lithograph of Jack Dempsey?
Did you load it, Buckley?
I sure did. With the delayed action fuse. He's going to be looking at Dempsey, and all of a sudden he's going to be blown all the way back to reform school.
Hey, Buck, that's a glass frame. Might get his eyes. Claffey, watch out for that glass. Get a medic, look at his hand.
What have you been using for booby traps, Sergeant? Landmines or hand grenades?
Never mind what I've been using. What about his hands?
Someone better call the ambulance. This boy's got to get to the hospital.
Is it that bad, Jack?
Real bad.
Buckley, you booby-trapped that picture, didn't you?
Yes, Sergeant.
With an overload?
Yeah.
Well, if it was a joke, it wasn't funny. If it wasn't, it could be considered attempted murder.
Oh, look,
You're
Sergeant.
restricted to your quarters till further notice.
Is there any truth to the rumor, Colonel, that we're about to shove off?
You just worry about that boy. What about his hands?
I think I can save one of them.
You've got to save both of them.
Science can do only so much, Colonel Johnson. What you're asking would take a miracle.
I'm not asking for any miracles. That's the chaplain's job. I want that boy to go with us when we go over. See that he makes it.
Very well, sir.
One of your boys, isn't he, Chaplain?
Yes, sir.
You heard what the doctor said. It'll take a miracle.
I heard, sir. And I'm sure the Lord did.
I don't think there's anything in the book, Sergeant, to prevent my writing a letter, huh?
No, you've been told the limitations of your activities preliminary to court.
You see, my situation is going to be something of a shock to my family, and I'm trying to break it to them gently.
What's the news on Carl Ward?
Well, Father Sampson should have the latest to be here any minute.
Buckley feels like sort of a Benedict Arnold. Well, let's face it, it was only a joke that backfired.
This is the Army. We have no time for jokes. My orders were clear. I told you guys not to overload that primer cord. He might have killed Claffey.
And that would have been a loss. Two-Fisted there's been a troublemaker from the start.
You shut up, Parker.
Well, you'll see that I lose my stripes? Well, take them. You're welcome to them. Ollie's right. The guy that's been the root of all the trouble sits there playing solitaire because he doesn't have a friend in the outfit.
I say that it's his hand should have been blasted, not Carl Ward's.
You be quiet, all of you. Pipe down.
Let him talk. Why shut him up? All right, I got a chip on my shoulder. Only it's my chip, it's my shoulder. You guys make anything out of that you want.
No time like the present, Claffey. It's open season on rents.
You're busted as soon as I can get to the old man.
Don't do that, Sergeant. He likes to be corporal. Let's keep him happy. Now, why shouldn't Buckley be in trouble? What, I should face a court? Who will be trapped the picture? Who did what to who? I'll take you all out.
That's enough out of you, all of you.
Break it up. Save that fight for overseas.
Carl,
What's the doctor say, Father?
Tell us about him, Father.
It doesn't look good, boys. The doctor says he's going to lose a hand.
Just from a little glass?
Broken glass can sever tendons and nerves. We won't have definite word until the doctor removes the bandages in about a week or 10 days.
That's great. You're trying to save a guy that's not worth saving.
He's right. Buckley's in trouble and Carl's in the hospital for only one reason. Mort Claffey.
Claffey. Come here.
What for?
You heard an order from an officer, Claffey. Obey it.
What were you doing in the hospital when Carl Ward was in surgery?
That's none of your business.
I disagree. Why'd you go to the hospital?
I went to see my mother.
Why don't you throw the book at him, Sergeant?
Yeah, that's insubordination, isn't it?
If you want me, Chaplain, I'll be playing solitaire.
How about it, Father? Is there anything in the Bible that explains why rats are better than people?
Claffey's not bad. He's misunderstood. I didn't see any of you boys rushing over to the hospital when Carl was in surgery to offer your blood.
Claffey did that?
He gave blood.
That doesn't sound like Claffey.
Well, it was Claffey. I was there.
Well, we'd all gone if anybody'd asked us.
Sure.
Nobody had to ask him. He just went. Mind if I sit down more?
It's a free country.
I guess poker's out for me. How about a game of gin?
Hearts is the best I can do.
That's a game I can play. Matter of fact, I'm good.
Well, sit down. Let's see how good you are.
Mind if I join you?
Sit down. Nobody's proud.
Father. Well, you deal, Fred, huh?
Well, chalk up one for the weak side, huh, Father?
He'll come around, Mouse. Don't forget he's had that chip on his shoulder all his life. He had to. It was the only way he could get by in the world he was brought up in.
Now, if you say so. What about Carl's hand?
He hasn't lost it yet, and he's not going to.
Oh, that's right. The colonel ordered you to whip up a miracle, didn't he? Think you can do it, Father?
Perhaps. If you'll pray with me, Mouse.
You know what I like about you, Father? You got a great sense of humor.
There he goes. He's walking down the hall.
Who's walking down the hall?
The doctor, you idiots. Yeah? He's on his way to Carl's room. He closed the door.
Well, what's the word?
Well, let's have a look.
Hey, here comes Father Sampson.
Well, what about it, Father?
How is he? It's gonna be all right. Give us the truth,
No
Father.
matter what happens, Carl's prepared for it. And we've got to be prepared for it, too.
You don't sound like you're completely sold on prayer, Father.
If it's God's will, the news will be good. It's a matter of faith, Mouse. I happen to have a lot of it. Mort, you and Buckley and I have a lot at stake. If the Lord spares Carl's hands, it'll make our lives easier. You, Mort, because he put his own life in danger to protect yours. You, Buck, because guilt multiplies in the mind, and you've got to live with yourself the rest of your days.
I'd give anything, Father, anything.
Then why don't the three of us? No, all of us. If you feel it in your hearts, repeat these words after me. Our Heavenly Father, here we are.
Our Heavenly Father, here we are.
Your servants from totally different walks of life.
Your servants from totally different walks of life.
United in humble purpose of prayer.
United in humble purpose of prayer.
Father, grant us thy mercy.
Father, grant us thy mercy.
Padre, do you really place that much faith in prayer?
I place my faith in God, sir. Whatever he wills, I accept.
Well, Father Sampson, I guess the good Lord feels the 501st wouldn't be much of an outfit without a piano player. At ease. Private Buckley, you will return to active duty.
Active duty?
Yes. There's another prayer answered. Our orders arrived. This outfit is on the way overseas.
Half a victory is better than none, Mouse. Take a look. Your turn next, Sergeant. Colonel Johnson was to lose his life in enemy action, but I'll never forget him. A man who didn't believe in the power of prayer, kneeling in our little chapel.
Father Sampson, holder of DSC, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Croix de Guerre, French, Belgian, and Korean decorations, still fighting for the cross and everything it symbolizes.